Hello everyone, I'm Eszter Vajda and welcome to the special edition of Hometown Talents and Treasures. We are broadcasting from Lawrence, Massachusetts at the site of the St. Alfios Society's Feast of the Three Saints. We're going to bring you some of the best sounds and sights of the three-day event, but we begin with a little bit of a history. Joining me now is Professor Richard Padova. He is at Northern Essex Community College, and you're going to be giving a talk about the history of the Three Saints. So take us back 90 years to how this all started.
Okay, well, the Italian immigrants came here to Lawrence, and basically they brought their traditions and their customs with them from Italy and Sicily. And one of the things that they brought with them, one of their customs, was the Feast of St. Alfio. So they got together, incorporated, had a meeting, and voila, 1923 is the first feast. So basically they brought their customs and traditions here with them, and this is one of the major ones.
And the Three Saints were martyrs.
Yes.
Tell the story.
Okay, yes. Basically, the Three Saints were martyred for their faith. They refused to renounce their faith in front of the emperor. So therefore, the penalty for not renouncing your Christian faith was death by torture. So the three brothers suffered death by torture. They refused to budge. They stood by their faith. And that's what guided them and brought them to a fullness of their faith.
How unique is this event in the state, in the country?
Okay, well, there are other St. Alfio feasts throughout the United States. So this is one of many. So we're not the only one. But we look at it this way, the more the merrier. We're all, we all have the same mission. We're trying to keep the feast alive, keep the saints' memory alive, honor them. So we do it, New Jersey does it, New York does it, and the more the merrier. This is a piece of stone from the tomb of Saints Alfio, Philadelphio, and Chirino in Lentini, Sicily.
And how did Lawrence, Massachusetts get them?
Well, I got it by visiting the church where the three saints were entombed after they were martyred. And there was a loose piece of stone from the tomb, and I took it as a relic, and it's being well cared for at home.
And what else do we have here?
Here we have some other relics from the society. These are normally on display inside the society headquarters, but for the feast weekend we temporarily put them on display here so everybody can see them. So just some old ribbons that members would have worn in the past. We have an old, where we shoot off the confetti from. That's one of the old, whatever the technical name for it is, but where the confetti shoots out from, okay, the canister, and certificates that were given out to the members at the beginning in the 1920s, stock, and that, I believe, is a picture of a former member. And then we have some other ribbons that members in the past would have worn, an old photograph there.
What is that photograph from?
This one, I believe, is from the 1955 feast, I believe.
And if people want to see this in person, they can come to the society?
To the society, right, during like a feast weekend when we open up the society to visitors.
Which is located where?
Yes, at 20 Common Street here on the premises of the church property.
You know, in this world of lack of traditions, what do you hope that the next generation gets out of this?
Well, I hope they get an appreciation of this and an inspiration for them to continue where those of us who are currently members will be leaving off at some point when this gets beyond us after, So we hope to inspire the younger generation, motivate them, show them what this is all about, and hopefully they literally carry on the torch after us.
Is there a special message from this?
Well, enjoy, have a good time, but always keep in mind why we're here, though, and that is to honor and commemorate the lives of the saints. So eat up, enjoy the entertainment, have a good time, reacquaint yourself with people who you haven't seen in a long time, but remember the bottom line, why we're here, to honor and commemorate the lives of the saints.
But in terms of from the saints and the whole story of how it happened, is there a special message?
Okay. Well, stand up for your ideals, basically. Okay. Don't cave in just because something is popular or somebody tells you to do something or it's the cool thing to do. Stand up for your beliefs, stand firm, and you're always doing the right thing that way.
Okay, Dr. Richard Padova, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Esther. I appreciate it. Yes. Okay.
Joining me now is Thomas Zappola. He was a marshal here for 16 years. You just gave it up.
Just gave it up to Mark Leone. You know, we have the new crew coming in, the new generation, so we thought it would be good. This is a good time for our 90th to step aside now and let the younger guys take over, so it's been great.
This is such a special event here in Lawrence. Talk a little bit about how it started.
Well, it's special to me. My grandfather was one of the 5 founding members. Yeah, they came from Sicily, from Tricastagni, and they decided to bring the feast from Sicily here with them, and that's what they did in 1921, and the rest is history. It's very close to all of us who grew up in this neighborhood. You know, we had 5 blocks of Italian families here when we were growing up. It has changed, but it's still close to our hearts.
What do you hope people get out of this event?
Well, for many of us, it's our chance to see each other again once a year. People come from all over the country. We see each other again, renew old acquaintances, and then obviously we have a love for the saints, the 3 saints. They watch over all of us in this parish. So.
Give us some of the highlights of the event. Starts Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Friday night, last night, obviously, we had a concert. We have a nice concert. We have the kickoff for the feast. Tonight, at about 7:30, we have what's called the Torchlight Parade, and that's when the organization splits into 3 groups, and we come from 3 different ends of the street, 3 different blocks, with 3 different bands. We all converge at the corner of Common Street and Newbury Street with our torches. We have a cheer, there's fireworks, and the 3 bands are playing in unison. It's kind of organized chaos. That's today. Tomorrow is the highlight of the festival. We have our Mass at 10 o'clock, and tomorrow's Mass is being celebrated by Cardinal Sean O'Malley, which is very, very special. And then we take the saints out at 3 o'clock. The saints are processed through the same route that they've been processed through for the last 90 years. Around the several blocks, and then when we get in front of the society here, we have what's called a moment of glory, and that's when they have a little benediction. The bands play the 3 hymns to the saint, and then they shoot off the confetti, let the pigeons go, let the balloons up in the air. It's really, really, really beautiful. So it's very, very moving.
Talk about the importance of tradition, especially in today's world.
It's all about tradition. This is the glue that holds us all together. You know, this is the glue that holds this organization together. The members here, everybody works year-round just for this event. And again, that's what it's all about. It's just the camaraderie, the brotherhood, the renewing of old acquaintances, that's what it's all about.
Now, you and Michael Mazzo host a show on WCCM, the Sicilian Corner, every Friday, 10 to noon. Give folks a little bit of a highlight of what it's all about.
It's kind of like the Sicilian version of Seinfeld. It's an Italian. It's Italian, has an Italian flavor, and there's 3 of us: myself, Michael Mazzo, and Lou Blasi's our producer. But Lou has a live mic. I'm kind of the cheapskate. I'm the butt of the jokes. I'm the guy with no hair. Mike is kind of the elder statesman. He's the voice of reason. And Louis is kind of like the conduit between both of us. Whoever side Louis feels like going on, he goes on. So it's fun. We have a lot of fun with it.
Now, how's the special, your brother is in Sicily, right?
Yeah, my brother Al's in Sicily, and we do a segment with him. He's traveling around Sicily. He's there for about 8 months. Lives there 8 months a year, and we do a segment with him. And every week, he travels to a different town, searching for an old friend of ours, Frankie Rizzo, who seems to have disappeared. Frankie's in Italy somewhere, and Al's trying to track him down.
And the name of the segment is Searching for Rizzo?
Well, it's Traveling in Sicily with Al Zappler and Frankie Rizzo, less Frankie Rizzo.
All right. Thank you so much, Tom Zappola. And that show is every Friday, the Sicilian Corner, from 10 to noon. Thank you.
Take care.
Okay.
Excuse me, Mike, is everything okay over here?
Okay, look at these jokers here. Joining me now is...
on number 1 just arrived.
Is there anything you need?
Listen, folks, if you want to see more of this, Sicilian Corner, every Friday, 10 to noon, right?
Yeah, 10 to noon.
Mike is the best. He's the best.
He did a horrible job in his interview, so you better do a better job,
I don't
Michael
believe that for a
Mazzo.
moment.
I'll let you guys.
All right,
Okay.
time to get lost now.
Okay, joining me now is Michael Omazzo with the St. Alfios Society. So we just got a little bit of a history from Professor Padova of the 90 years that have been here. You've been with the Society for how long?
15.
15. And what are some of the highlights for you?
Well, for 13 years, I've had the pleasure of being in charge of corporate fundraising, and that is our key way of raising funds for the Society. It's not easy asking people for money, as you can well imagine, but we have a very good base of people that support us every single year. This year we actually have 17 sponsors, which is wonderful. This is the 90th. It's a very expensive feast to maintain and to run, and with the help of the corporate sponsors, we're doing very, very well this year. The other hat that we wear is the entertainment hat, and that's the fun portion. So I have been able to, during the last 15 years, to meet some interesting people. We've done some big shows in the Common area. We have had Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons, which is our biggest show. This was prior to the play. Connie Francis, Al Martino twice, Jerry Vale. I mean, we've had some really, really great entertainment. We'd have 10 to 12,000 people in the Common, and that was a fun thing. You know, corporate sponsors, not as much fun to say, but you know something, we all wear two hats, most of us that are active, and that's a great thing. It really is.
So for those people who have never come here, give us a little bit of the highlight. There's obviously food and entertainment.
Yeah, last night we have two stages running at the same time, so albeit a little bit problematic, we're able to bring a lot of entertainment. We have 12 shows going on this weekend. Last night, up at the Tripoli stage, which is directly across the street from Tripoli Bakery, we had the Italian Cousins, Joe Scuderi, Russ McQueen, and we had a band from Boston called Seabreeze, and they were very well received. Here in this bandstand that's directly behind me, we had the pleasure of having Gian Ferroni. Gian is a Venezuelan, Italian Venezuelan. He's been singing for about 5 or 6 years, and he's a crooner. He's the Frank Sinatra type. The people loved him, and then we brought on our headliner, and her name was Giada Valenti. And Giada was not only lovely to look at, but lovely to hear. She was blessed by God with a wonderful, wonderful voice. She just signed a contract with PBS. It's going to air sometime in February, but this is not a regional, this is a national PBS. So if I tried to book her now, I'm sure I have to pay 5 times the amount of money that we got her for, but she wowed the crowd. She really did. She did 90 minutes that people wouldn't let her go home. They wouldn't let her off the stage. So, you know, and tonight here in the bandstand, Tony Pace from Las Vegas is with us. That's a huge, huge show. He's got a big following. I mean, we did sound check. We had over 100 people just standing around listening to sound check. And up at the other end of the stage, we have Rico Barr. Rico Barr has a very, very big following, and Rico has performed for us about 4 or 5 different times, and he draws a big, big crowd also. Tomorrow night we have a 35-piece orchestra in this bandstand, believe it or not. As small as it is, we have John Late's Concert Winds, and they're going to be performing for us. So we have a lot. Stephen Savio is going to be up at the other end of the stage, and he's another feast favorite. We had some people that we bring back almost every year. And we do that because they're very familiar with us, they believe in what we're doing. And with the support of the thousands of people that come down here, I'll tell you, it's so heartwarming for me. I stand up on that stage and I'll tell you, my hairs come out of my arms because this is very, very special. And I think most people appreciate the effort that goes into making things run smoothly. So it is a lot of fun.
And talk about the importance of having this in Lawrence for the people of Lawrence. And you know, you mentioned it's a free event for people.
It's, I think what happens, people like myself who grew up in the city of Lawrence, I think it's absolutely incredible that we're able to maintain something that was here for 90 years. When I grew up in the 50s and 60s, we had a lot of neighborhoods in the city of Lawrence. You had your Irish, you had your Italians, you had your Portuguese, you had your Germans. So if you were dating different girls, you would be eating different types of food every night. It was wonderful. It was like the United Nations. And it made it special. And that's what made the city of Lawrence so nice. In 1961, I had the pleasure of playing on the Lawrence High School undefeated football team. No matter whether you're in North Lawrence, South Lawrence, on Sunday afternoon, you'd have thousands of people walking across the three bridges going to the stadium. You know why? Because of pride. Pride. And I just can't emphasize that enough. People were proud to say they were from the city of Lawrence. Things are a little bit different now. A lot of people have moved out of the area, but we're here. We're having fun. We're in a neighborhood that used to be 3 decades, 4 decades. And you could tell by the tens of thousands, we're going to have 100,000 people here in 3 days. 100,000 people in 3 days, if the skies cooperate. But it's very rewarding. You know, it's time to give back. You know, I'm 69 years old. Next feast, I'll be 70. I can't even believe it. But it's just time to give back and to say thank you, because it was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful place to grow up. And I'm very proud to say that I was from the city of Lawrence. And some people right now don't feel that way, which is kind of a sad thing. You know, there's a transition that's going on, and I hope it all works out for the best. I really do.
Now, we had Tom Zappala give a little bit of a description of what the Sicilian Corner is all about. But I want to hear what your description is.
The Sicilian Corner, what exactly it's about, huh? That's a good question.
And what your role is.
My role is to humor Tommy and nod my head every once in a while, because the guy doesn't come up for water. I mean, I never seen a mouth move. So he's in Florida, we're doing a show, and we do it with a Comrex system. And you think 1,500 miles away, I'd have a chance to really kind of run things? Doesn't happen. But the Sicilian Corner is going into its 12th year. It's fun. We've never had a politician on the show with us. Never had a politician. We do that by design. And if you want to just sit back for 2 hours and maybe have a laugh or two, the Sicilian Corner airs every Friday from 10 to noon, 11:10 a.m. and 102.9 FM HD2. And we're also broadcast on the internet. It's a fun show. It's a fun show.
It's a great show.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun.
Mike Lamazzo, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Joining me now is Anne Marie. She is with the Italian Serenaders, who are getting ready to perform. And tell me a little bit about how you guys got together and some of the performances coming up.
We're out of Merrimack Valley, and they've been together since about 1975. And they're just a group of, started out, I think, in Haverhill area, and then they got together to sing, and they enjoyed it, and it just grew from there. They do Italian festivals. We were just at the North End at the St. Joseph's Festival a couple of weeks ago, and we strolled around the streets during that feast. And I think this is our first time doing this in a long time, doing this Three Saints Feast. So
and how long have you been involved?
I've only been involved the last year. So I'm a fairly new member, but I'm really excited to be here today.
And what are some of the songs that we can hear today?
Oh, we're going to hear Viva Italia. We're going to hear O Marie. We're going to hear Ciao Ciao Bambina. We're going to hear Innamorata. We're going to hear Buonasera. A lot of songs.
Thank you so much. And what festival wouldn't be complete if we didn't talk to someone at the food court, of course. And joining me now is Donna Ramirez. She is with Donna's Famous Italian Sausage. You guys have been coming here for 12 years. What makes your sausage so special?
Because I make it from homemade, from scratch.
And what's the secret?
That's a secret. It's as if I told you a secret, it wouldn't be a secret anymore. I've been doing it. It's a family tradition. My grandfather started about 75 years ago. Then my folks did it. When my mother passed on, I kept the tradition.
And so you have
family, my children, my grandchildren, my husband. It's all family.
And you have meatballs as well, and
Everything
onions,
is, peppers, onions, meatballs, chicken cutlets, eggplant parm, and everything is homemade.
And when you guys are not here, where's your store if people want to go and visit you guys?
I don't have a store.
Oh, where do you
I
have-
just do this, and I do a fair up north in Deerfield, New Hampshire. I've been there 41 years.
So you just do this to give back to the community?
To give back to the community, yeah.
Why this event specifically?
I guess because of my mother. My mother was really involved with this. She started many, many, many years ago down here on Common Street in a chicken store. She was petrified of the feathers, but they used to put the chickens out back, and she started the same thing, and I just felt as though she's here with me. I feel with me, yeah. That's the only reason.
And what does it mean for you to be here and give back?
It means a lot. It means a lot. I love the people here. I love the community. I love the Italian feast completely. They're nice people. We need more. We need more of this family. Yeah.
Okay, so Donna, what do we have here?
Okay, we have chicken cutlet. We have my homemade Italian sausage, peppers and onions, meatballs, my daughter, and everything. They serve it, comes right off the grill onto the steam table, and it's fresh at all times. Guaranteed a fresh sandwich at all times.
And you only do this for the feast and another event?
And another event. That's it. That's it. Too much work.
Thank you, Donna.
Thank you, honey.
That's our show for today. If there's someone, an organization, or even an event you think should be featured on Hometown Talents and Treasures, email me at esternvajda@gmail.com. Make sure you check us out on Facebook, and we'll see you next time.